महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महादेवमुदं शिरसा नमामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि.
जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुख दोषानुदर्शनम. The doshasya anudarshanam. So, Janma means birth means death will be there. That's what is said there. And when it is coming, we don't know. So one day at a time. It's a very good modern mantra. But this is an old thing. See, modern mantra, these groups, the self-help groups in America, and these groups have some of these things very correctly. So this understood some ideas. What is this one day at a time? That is their mantra. Let go, let God. Another mantra. So like this, fake it and make it. That is also their mantra only. So they have a few lines like this, very well understood, very well conceived. How well understood, I don't know. That we can, for that they have to understand what is issue. But the idea is very, very good. Their mantra it is, one day at a time. But this mantra has been with us for a long time. Suppose we ask this as children ask mother, father, I want this. Suppose somebody asks, I want this. A child asks, I want this. The mother would invariably say, tomorrow I'll give you if both of us wake up alive. பிழைத்து கிடந்தால் பார்க்கலாம் சொல்லிருக்காங்க. Very big thing. That is the nice way of teaching what is death and what is life. Otherwise you keep on avoiding talking about death. So the child asks mother, mother says, if we both of us wake up alive, then we will look into this. She won't say, I will give really. Parkala, we will see. When we both get up alive, then we will see. That means we may not get up. So one day at a time. The day is over, now tomorrow when we get up, we will see. So my mother used to tell, and I am sure so many others also had similar, raise your hand fully. Those who have heard this from their mothers. Come on. Fully, they won't see. Let's see. So many. You can understand, it's in the culture. And the culture is based upon Shastra, the reality culture. This is what I am talking about all the time. Reality culture. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha can be taken an item. Dukkha is emotional dukkha. It's always there. Vyadhi is there. Jara is there. Old age is there. Disease is there. Then dukkha, emotional dukkha, bereavement is there, that is dukkha. Loss is there, dukkha. Emotional dukkha. So the whole thing, whole life is fraught with all this. And therefore, this doshasya, this dosha, limitation, anudarshanam, muhur muhuhu paryalochanam, punah punaha, again and again paryalochanam. Understanding that, keeping in mind, don't one time you just inquire about this and then afterwards you forget. So you have to see this one day at a time. This day I have. This is true. And therefore, how best I can make use of this day. Problems also are only to one day problem. So one day you can always manage. One day you can manage. That's all you have to manage. Tomorrow again one day you manage. And another day again you wake up and then one day you manage. So one day you can always manage. So one day at a time. How will I manage? Yeah, one day. Manage one day. So one day management. Therefore, muhur muhuhu paryalochanam leads to be alive to what is going on now and get the best out of that. And another thing, this is with reference to your body. Then with reference to possessions, then we have certain possessions. With reference to these possessions, so one can have Sakti. Sakti is Sangaha. So get too much involved. This is what we say ownership. You have certain things you call as yours. This is Sakti. You have possessions. And there is nobody without possession. Even a sannyasi will have some possession. The body itself is a possession. And a kamandal is a possession. And now it is a precious possession. And then a few possessions, and always possessions will be there. These possessions, some of them become yours. Means you have a sense of ownership towards them. A rented house. This fellow has been renting this house. The owner of this house is in England. We went to England 10 years ago. And then you have been a tenant for 10 years. This fellow has been a tenant for 10 years. And there he has made it. He has got his own house and he doesn't care to come back. So he married there. He married in England and then so he settled there. And the fellow writes a letter to this guy, to the tenant. You have been a good tenant all these years, and I am very pleased with you. I have decided to settle down in England. My children are all studying here, and I have no plan to go back. Even if I have to go back, I am going to be not in Chennai but in Bombay. So I have a flat there. And therefore, this house, I am gifting it to you. He got this letter in his office. Till then, he had a certain relationship with the house. Now the relationship changed. Kidar changed in his mind. Now he thinks, what should be the cost of that house? Then he brings, and he's now the owner of the house. Tenant became the owner. Then when he comes and enters into this house, now, this is my house. And then he looks at, now he will look at the wall. Oh, this we have to fix up. That we have to fix up. Everything. So we have to repaint now. So this is my house. Then he brings in an assessee. And then who assesses the value of the house. And then he gets the valuation done. Then how much, now he wants to feel how much I own. Okay? I own the house is not enough. How much worth it is, what is its worth? Then he can have a feeling. Oh, then that fellow came and said, this will go for 1.5 crore. Oh, 1.5 crore? Wonderful. So, wonderful. Are more, the house complete. In Chennai, these days it's more. So much money. The fellow says, wonderful. So, he's different now. He has become a owner. Previously what? A possessor. Now he is the owner. In Bombay, possessor is the owner. So this is another problem. So the possessor has become the owner. This is the sense of ownership. This sense of ownership is questionable. Even your body is not owned by you. That is why you can't commit suicide. It is not owned by you. It is owned by so many people. Father can claim it, mother can claim it. His married wife can claim it. He's got children, children can claim it. My dad. If you are employed, the employer can claim it, state can claim. And all the amoebas inside, they will claim. We have been living here for a number of generations. This is an inherited property. Nobody has a say over there. We live here in a co-op situation. They can claim it. Amoebas can claim it. Potatoes can claim it. Huh? And if he's a non-veg, all the crabs and various other things can claim. And therefore, so who is the owner? We want to know the owner of this. There is no particular person who can claim, I own this. There is nobody. There is nobody. A single person doesn't exist. Okay. Alright, we'll cut up this body, give everybody a piece. The amoebas will protest. No, we can't. We can't share with others, otherwise we can't live. And this all together they should be. Okay? And nobody, there is no question of owning. Anyone, nobody can own. And this fellow says, I am the owner. And without taking account of all those people, you cannot say I am the owner. It's a misappropriation. It's wrong. But then it has to be managed. Who will manage? Tell me. The judge made a class. Whoever knows hunger, because he has to eat and maintain his body, thirst, back pain, headache, whoever knows all this intimately, that person alone should manage this body. Everybody was silent, because nobody can really manage. And then the amoebas were more silent, because they are parasites. And therefore they can't manage, they can only damage. And therefore they didn't claim anything. Then the judge appointed Devadatta, whose body it is, who thought it is my body. That fellow was reappointed. When he came to know all these people have got a claim over this body, he became reluctant. I don't care for this body. No, he said, you have to care, because nobody else can really take care of this body. You are the only one who can take care. You are already born to take care of this body. You have come along with this body. And this body has to be taken care of by you. As long as it lasts. You don't have a right to put this body into disuse. That is called suicide. And you also have no right to put any body into disuse. That is called homicide. So neither you are allowed to commit homicide and suicide. You abuse your will against another, it is called homicide. You abuse your will against yourself, it is called suicide. In both there is abuse of will. There is no use of will. Therefore, what now? The judge said, I am appointing this you, Devadatta, as the managing trustee of this body. Then he said, judgment is over 3 times. Next, adjournment. So this kind of adjournment in the court, case after case is adjourned. And this is mostly the procrastination. Yeah. Because they don't want to deal with it now. So procrastination mainly. We have to talk to all the judges for some time, some judges and advocates, about procrastination. I did talk at one time, but I didn't talk about procrastination. I should have talked procrastination. Now that takes. So next time when I can get a chance, the whole judiciary, I'm going to talk about procrastination. Okay. Now, you are a managing trustee of this body. Even the body you are not the owner. What is Shakti? Where is ownership? You are objective. See, understand how it becomes object. Everything continues. You become object. That gift that was given by the owner of the house, he gave up the ownership from his mind and made this fellow a owner. And this fellow has got ownership. He also can give it up. How? Make it into possession. Previously also I was possessing, paying rent. I need not pay rent. Now I can sell this. I've got a right to sell. That's all what you have. I have a right to sell. I am not the owner. So when you say I am not the owner, do you know what happens? What happens is, I am not the owner of this house, when you say, then what you are the owner of? All possessions I have, but I am not the owner of any of them. Because there are so many factors involved, so many people involved. Sole owner I am not. Even in a book, you can't say I am the sole author of the book. There are a lot of people involved. You have gathered knowledge from different people. Therefore, you can't claim sole authorship also for a book, sole discovery. Even though we add the name Newton to his laws, the laws that he discovered, Newton's law. Newton's law. So Newton's law of gravitation. So even though we call it Newton's law, it's not that Newton introduced the law. Newton introduced the law. He didn't introduce the law. He got married. He found himself a son-in-law. So he didn't create a law. And this gravitational law much less. Even he became a son-in-law, not because he created a son-in-law. No. He got married. Then you are called a son-in-law. And the other is called a father-in-law. And there is a mother-in-law. There will be a sister-in-law. There will be a brother-in-law. And suppose you have got this legal law degree. You have a law degree, and then you have become Bharat law. And if you do some kind of dacoity, you become outlaw. Correct? I'm just looking how many we can discover. So, that's outlaw, in-law. So this law of gravitation has been there. Newton was born because of law. Otherwise Newton's mother must be floating somewhere. And therefore, so this is our, we call it Newton's law because of our admiration to remember him. He was a genius at that time, even though there are a lot of things, whatever he said at that time, are found to be wanting. Later they got improved, but still they all work today. In Vyavahara they all work. The relativity, the theory of relativity, so changes the whole concept of Newton. Newton's concept was that time exists always. Space is absolute, it is always there. So that is the classical view of physics, of time and space. And based upon that, he has formulated some laws that all of them will work even now. But in certain levels of understanding, they won't. In Vyavahara, they will work. But at that time, it was a very, very, very epoch-making discovery. That's why I say he was some kind of rishi. And we want to remember a person like him. Therefore, we call Newton's law of gravitation. We honor ourselves by giving a name like that. So, honoring a deserving person, we honor ourselves, we honor the value. There is a value for knowledge. That's a value. Value for knowledge. And but it is not authored by him. And if you ask a discoverer, generally he's humble. All discover, generally I have to say because I'm not sure, but generally they are humble. The scientists, they are humble because they know they owe what they have discovered to lot of people. The people who had worked for in the same area, people who had worked before generations. That is why in the study of science, you will always find there are names, lot of names will be there. So in this year, time also, in this year, this one was working on this and he had discovered this much. Then afterwards, so and so came, then he said this. He said this, it's boring really. And because they have to say all that. So because that period, everybody has contributed in the same field. That means you are sitting upon the discovery of so many people. You are sitting on the shoulders of so many. You know, it is something like a pyramid. And one fellow is down below, and then over that fellow, another fellow, and another fellow, another fellow, another fellow, and you are standing on this fellow's shoulder and look at the world. The world looks different, naturally. You have a better view, correct? You are standing on the shoulders of all these people.
महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महादेवमुदं शिरसा नमामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि भारत देश हिताय कुरु सेवां त्वं कुरु सेवां त्वं कुरु सेवां त्वं कुरु सेवा